talking about 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes.
That was painful. That hurt my heart. I see this as borderline criminal from the referee. I see this as, it's hard to say there isn't some kind of foul play here. I'm not one to build conspiracies or anything like that, but it just seems like the ref got it wrong.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. نويت أصلي ركعتين سنة العشاء. الله أكبر.
A few moments later.
Pertandingan Bahrain kontra Indonesia di Bahrain National Stadium berlangsung penuh tensi. Serangan demi serangan kedua belah pihak nyaris terlihat berimbang, dan menghasilkan masing-masing 5 tendangan on target. Namun hal ini terlihat berubah dikala Rafael memasukkan bola ke jaring gawang Bahrain pada menit ke-74, yang membuat Indonesia unggul 2-1 di sementara waktu. Bahrain yang nampak frustasi mulai menaikkan intensitas serangan. Namun, gol pun tidak tercipta di sepanjang waktu yang tersisa. Perpanjangan waktu babak kedua pun diberikan selama 6 menit. Entah apa yang ada di pikiran sang wasit, hingga 6 menit berselang tidak kunjung meniupkan peluit berakhirnya pertandingan. Celakanya, pada menit ke-99 Bahrain mendapatkan sepakan pojok yang berujung gol penyama kedudukan. Hal ini membuat para pengamat sepak bola jengkel dan menganggap pertandingan tidak adil. Apalagi gol pamungkas Bahrain tersebut seharusnya terhitung offside.
I want to know, right away in the comments, did Indonesia get robbed? Let me know what you thought about that ending in the Indonesia versus Bahrain match that ended 2-2 after Bahrain tied it in the very last play, the very final minute, the 99th minute of the match. Problem here is, the ref only added 6 minutes and the game should have ended in the 96th minute. We're talking about 3 free minutes that were given in this game. And folks, being unbiased, being true to what I saw, it's the wrong call. It's the wrong call. I'm sorry. It reminds me a lot of what I saw happen with my team, Mexico, when they faced off against Honduras in a very important Copa America qualification match, and Mexico scored in the 100th minute despite only being given 9 minutes at the end of regulation. So we're only talking about a minute there, and so much controversy at the time. I admitted that that was the wrong call from the ref involved. We're talking about 3 minutes, guys. 3 minutes. Normally, I would be okay with that if there was a major injury that happened in additional time, or if a goal was scored. And if my memory serves me correct, I don't remember any of that happening in additional time. It came off of a corner kick where Marhoun once again gets a brace in this game, sneaks his way behind the line, and scores a goal to tie the match. But the reason that I am so frustrated with this result and what the referee ultimately decided is because this was going to be probably the most impressive victory in Indonesia's history. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but when you think about what Indonesia is trying to do right now in the AFC region, the age of these players, the process that they're currently in, this was going to be such an impressive victory away from home. And then considering the fact that they were down 1-0 to start the game, and they came back with a beautiful goal from Rafael Struijk to give Indonesia the lead away from home. And I thought they defended greatly, man. I thought they did great defensively. Both goals from Bahrain came off of set pieces. The first one from Marhoun, one of the goals of the week, credit to him. Amazing goal. But that's the only way that Bahrain's going to score. They're set-piece geniuses. You just can't give them those opportunities. Scored a beautiful banger of a free kick, hits the post, goes in. But then Ragnar, towards the end of the first half, responds with a really nice, tidy finish. The ball just falling to him, finishes it very well, and it's tied at halftime. In the second half, I loved what I saw from Indonesia, Marcelino coming on into this match, and then Struijk just finding a way to score a beauty of a goal from the corner of the box to make it 2-1. I thought Indonesia had it, because beyond that free kick that we saw Bahrain score, they couldn't do much in this game, man. They really couldn't. Indonesia's defense was very good once again. We've highlighted that already. It was very, very solid. But then, you know, craziness happens in the end. Ref adds 6 minutes. It goes all the way to the 99th, and Bahrain scores and ties this match. I'm frustrated because these are 3 massive points that Indonesia does not get, and they have to settle for 1 in a very controversial ending, in my opinion. Folks, let me know your thoughts in the comments right now. I want to know everything that you thought about this decision, but beyond that, how Indonesia played, what you thought about the midfield, the defense, and obviously, Strauch's goal was amazing. It was amazing, man. What a moment. The thing is, beyond this crazy decision that happened, beyond the crazy situation that we just saw, I beg Indonesia to stay focused. Stay focused, because Group C is incredibly tight, and Indonesia has a great opportunity to get 3 points in a game that I'm going to call a must-win against China away from home. Everyone's beaten down on China so far. Indonesia needs to be focused. Take this as a test of their mentality. Yes, it wasn't fair, or yes, it wasn't the right decision. No matter that, stay focused and get 3 points in your next game and get 4 points total in this window. I think ultimately that is a massive victory if they can pull it off, but they can't let this result get in their heads and get in the way of what they're trying to achieve, which is get to the FIFA World Cup. So that's what I'm asking out of Indonesian fans and the Indonesian players. Stay focused, because I do think they can still leave this international window feeling really good about themselves. And I really do mean it when I said this group is so tight. I mean, Australia is in 2nd place right now with 4 points. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain also have 4. If Indonesia beats China and certain results go their way, Indonesia could end this window in 2nd place. So that's going to be massive to see that matchup against China. Stay focused and get the 3 points there.
Should we start with our friends from Indonesia, guys? Should we start with our friends from Indonesia?
Let's start with Indonesia. Let's do it.
Okay. The Indonesians went to Bahrain, and let's talk about the good first. It was an exciting match, right? 2-2, Bahrain versus Indonesia. And the 2 boys, Rahio boy Ragnar and Mr. Streak with a golazo, man. Let's talk about that. For Indonesia, they were struggling scoring before. They got 2 goals today.
And Mr. Martin Todd, save after save again. Another incredible performance. Let's be honest. Indonesia deserves to take 3 points from this game. They deserve the biggest victory in the history of the Garudas. It wasn't to be, Roy, because what's 6 or 9? 6? 9? What's going on?
That was painful. That hurt my heart. And let me start by saying something that I'm going to say very, very poorly, but I hope all of my Indonesian friends feeling this tie will hear me and will feel that I mean it. Kami mencintaimu. Do you guys know what that means? Rocky and Sakil, are you fluent in the language of Indonesia?
Teach us the ways, Roy. Teach us the ways. Look, we are just watching this team, and we obviously watched the full match of this, and you do start to fall in love with the team because of how hard they fight, how much fight each of these players give. Jay Idzis, we talked time and time again. Rock, Martin Haas, Roy's MLS boy, trying to spur on the team. And then the new additions, I thought Reinders fit in really well. I thought he played a great match. And then, of course, and then Streak with what a strike. What a strike in that moment. The goalie had no chance for Bahrain. All of that in the end. Look, guys, if we had said before the match, would Indonesia be happy with a draw in Bahrain? 100%. I think all of our Indonesian fans would have been super happy. But the way it happened, guys, were they robbed? Let's talk about that.
Yes, I think the answer is yes. Or I mean, I think maybe the referee is dyslexic. Maybe he saw the 6, thought it was a 9, and that's why I put on 9 minutes. I honestly don't get it. I feel that 6 minutes means 6 minutes, right? And maybe a little bit extra. But for me, it went on too long, and it felt very much like a home field advantage for Bahrain.
Yeah, that really, really hurt to watch because 6 minutes never means 6 minutes. First of all, let's be real. There was a yellow card in there. So then you push it to 7, right? You push it to 6.5. You push it to 6:45. To push it to almost 9 minutes, there better be an injury where they got to get the cart in there and they take 4 or 5 minutes to get him off the field. There better be a streaker on the field running across to hug Struik or Martin Pass, someone running in to hug Martin Pass after all is saved. That's what needs to happen for there to be an additional 3 to 4 minutes after the stoppage time announcement. So I see this as borderline criminal from the referee. I see this as, it's hard to say there isn't some kind of foul play here. I'm not one to build conspiracies or anything like that, but it just seems like the ref got it wrong. He added way too much time at the end there, and it cost Indonesia. But the big question is, should Indonesia have held on? Should they have done a bit of a better job to hold on to that lead?
You know what's interesting? There was an incident right before that where Indonesia had a chance to, all the players running forward. And I thought, why not take it to the corner flag?
Yep.
Why try to shoot? Why to try to shoot and score in that moment? And then I was thinking, what if this ref decides to keep playing? And what if they allow a goal because of that? Because you take it to the corner flag and that match is done. It's finished.
It's over. A smart decision. Yep, it would have been the smartest decision, but it felt like immaturity. It felt like these players are so excited to be playing for a team that adores them and that they have millions of new fans and their social media accounts blew up and they're 1,000 extra followers and they're pumped. They want to be heroes. They want to score a goal. They'll have their name in a spotlight. And that got to them in that moment. I think that got.
Let's be honest. They were heroes, and this is the challenge. Right? Because the reason we love this team is because the fight they show is incredible. I mean, they go into tackles like crazy, right? And the challenge is sometimes that ends up hurting you the other way, right? The first goal is off a free kick. I think an unnecessary foul in the middle of the field. I thought the 2 unnecessary fouls in there. There's a couple things they need to clean up, I think, which is that spirit, that energy, sometimes also can serve you the other way. So a little more clean I'd like to see. There's a few elements of that that need to be improved upon. But what a performance, we have to say. On the road, in a hostile environment, to be this close to the greatest victory in the history of this country.
Yeah. And after going a goal down and after having a pretty poor start, right? The first half, Bahrain dominated. And then to come out of the second half, first of all, that goal was huge right before the end of the first half. And then to come back in the second half, Indonesia dominated the second half. It was a dominating performance. And of course they got the goal to deserve with Rafael Struik and we thought they were going to win.
Yeah. We did. And it would have been incredible. It would have been such a great story. But let's take a step back, right? Because at the end of this is not a bad result. And you have now a game home that you have to win. But if you do, the table is going to look very different in a few days, right? Because Saudi Arabia lost. So I think Indonesia, it's a sad thing, but opportunity still remains, Roy.
Opportunity remains, but given the way the game went, it is a very bad result. It is a very bad result. It's not the result that Indonesia needed right now. If we look at the standings, Indonesia sits in 5th, a point behind Bahrain. That's 3 points total across 3 games. It's a difficult position. It is a difficult position to be in, but based on the way this team has been growing, based on the fact that each game they're looking better and better, they've figured out their attack in this game. They've gotten to a place where they're creating multiple chances. If they could go into the next game, this as a base, the second half as a base, they'll get their first win, man. They'll get their first win.